What up, y'all? It's DJ NV.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, beautiful people.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying your 4th of July and enjoying your family and just have a good time. We're just going to be by the house today, by the pool, barbecuing and just chilling.
Yes, barbecuing, swimming, things of that nature. And then later on, we're going to take the kids to see fireworks. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to do the same. Not that I'm not all fireworked out from Disney, but I think that I can squeeze in a few more fireworks today.
You know what? And I just want to tell you before we start the podcast, I love you.
I love you too.
Now, the last couple of days has just been amazing. Like since we got back from Disney, it's
been amazing since we got back from Disney.
Yeah, because Disney was very hectic. It was very crazy. We were in Florida for 10 days. Mm-hmm. And when we got back, you just really been taking care of me. Like, you usually take care of me, but this is like beyond take care of me. Like the other day we got in the shower, you bathed me in the shower. I felt like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. Your royal penis is clean, Your Highness. Like it's like everything has been wonderful. I just want to say I love you and thank you.
I love you too.
I'm serious.
You know what? I guess that's my subtle way of thanking you because, to be honest, on vacations and just in daily life, a lot of times men look at women as this list of things. These are your jobs.
Right.
And my job is these lists of things. And I do believe in each sex having a list of things that kind of inherently fall upon them. But you help me out with my list so much that I'm so appreciative of you. Like you will push the stroller. You will pack the Capri Suns and the juice boxes. You'll wake up and change diapers and give a baby a bath. And there are just certain things that you'll do to make my life easier. And I really appreciate that. So if I can find subtle ways, sometimes bigger ways, but subtle ways to say thank you to you for all the things that you do for our family, but specifically me, the things that you do for me, I will. I don't know. Sometimes I don't specifically say thank you for these things. And I do thank you audibly, but I like to do little things for you to show you that I appreciate you. So I love you too.
No, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Because in everybody's relationship, there's always patches. There's a great patch where everything is just connecting and you guys are on the same.
Oh, you mean like a period of time?
A period of time. Yeah.
Oh, you're calling that a patch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a time where it seems like you're arguing every other day, and there's a time where it just this is the patch right now. Mm-hmm. That everything is perfect. Mm-hmm. Like I could be like, good morning, baby. And then you can say good morning back. And then you blow like a cool mist on my face. Like, is this the perfect patch? I just want to say I love you.
But that's because you're doing everything right. Like lately you have been doing everything right. And yeah, let's call it a patch. I like that. Right. So during this patch, like everything that you're doing is pleasing to me or satisfying to me. Like you are hitting every mark. So
it's a good time. This is great patch.
Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I just want to say I love you.
I love you too.
July 27th, we're doing our live podcast at Sony Hall. All right. Now, you guys asked, can we do more of these? So, you guys can come out and we can make it a date night and make it fun. So that is the next day, July 27th. It's a Friday.
That was a big thing. A lot of people were asking for a weekend or a Friday leading into the weekend because we've had previous live podcasts on weekdays.
Thursday and Monday, right?
Yeah, and it's been difficult, I guess, for people to come out. Those shows have always sold out nonetheless, but that doesn't mean that it's not difficult for people to be there. So this time we did it on a Friday so that we can make sure that it's easier for you guys to be there.
Absolutely.
And I'm very excited. very excited. I love these live podcasts. I love them. I love being in a room with people that listen, that are in these conversations with us, that our conversations kind of influence them and their conversations within their homes and spark new conversations for them and spark insight and a back and forth, a dialogue between them and their loved ones. And I love being in a room with those people because the people that are there are the people that are invested in the podcast.
Absolutely.
Like the people that really really, really listen. So it's like all like minds in one room, and, you know, we're there and we're talking and we get audience feedback, and, you know, people are raising their hands, people are clapping, people are, like there's just that energy. And I love that. It feels so right when we do these live podcasts.
So
you know?
We're excited. The next one is July 27th. And then not only that, because we love that. And you can get your tickets at SonyHall.com or Ticketmaster.com. But this time for comedy, we have Major Hype.
Yes, I'm excited.
And Gia loves Major Hype as a comedian.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite comedians right now. We went to see him once, and it just brought back that nostalgic feeling of growing up on Flatbush and Brooklyn and whatnot. He's a Caribbean comedian, so a lot of his jokes are Caribbean based, and he's just an all around funny dude. So when Rashawn asked me who I wanted to perform this live podcast, I told him definitely Major Hype. So I'm happy about that. Thank you for making that happen.
No, thank you, Major Hype. So that's going to happen. So that happens July 27th. Now, this podcast, it's all about Disney.
Disney 101.
Right.
Well, Central Florida.
Well, and we'll explain
101, because we didn't just do Disney. We did a bunch of other stuff as well.
And we'll explain that. So, you know, a lot of people, I got to say, have to. You have to take your kids to Disney. That's one thing that it seems like kids know. I want to go to Disney. I want to go to Disney.
At some point in your life.
Right.
If not now, in the near future or the further future. But at some point, I think that it's most Americans' dream.
Not only Americans.
There's a
lot of foreigners in Disney.
Yes. Okay. So you people that live in Canada and London and Africa, Brazil, Australia, all of you listeners, I know that a lot of you probably at some point in your life want to visit Disney. Now, it's like, for me, it's kind of like a common ground. Like when you talk about Disney, everybody knows what you're talking about. People have either already been there or aspire to go there. So it would be a good idea to take a podcast to kind of educate you guys on our experience with Disney.
Right. And it's not just if you have kids. It could be a date as well. If you want to, you know, you and your boo go on vacation to Disney, yes, you can as well.
I was very surprised as to how many couples were at Disney with no kids.
Right.
That was very, very interesting to me. And I'm talking about young couples, like couples that looked like they were in college or just graduated from college, all the way up to old couples,
absolutely,
grandparents out there with no grandkids.
That's right.
Just walking hand in hand, strolling, eating in like the little restaurants or shopping in the little Disney boutiques. I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, like, wow, that's really cute. Like, I want to be one of those old people walking hand in hand with you at Disney.
Right. So we are going to break down. I can't wait to, and I might even want to live in Disney, but we'll tell them about that later. I want to break down Disney exactly, so people who have never been or who are going back and say, okay, well, what should I do? Now, first, let me shout out at Alexandria. Alexandria listens to the podcast all the time, and she heard me on the radio talk about Disney. And she heard me talk about when we priced Disney was high as giraffe punani.
I hate what you say.
It's the truth. The price was so damn expensive for Disney.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. When we started pricing out Disney, and now mind you, I wanted to take the kids to Disney last year for their birthday, but instead we decided to plan a huge carnival themed birthday party for them at the house. And it was Rashawn's perspective that, you know what, let's do it next year. They'll be a year older and they'll probably remember it better. Right. So I agreed, but I started planning it last year, and I probably invested about maybe 16 hours watching YouTube videos, Googling, and reading books that I bought from Barnes and Nobles about how to plan a Disney trip, because I'm a planner. I plan vacations in a way where no time is wasted. Right. We move from one thing to the next. I want to experience everything. I want to see everything. I want to wake up first thing in the morning, eat breakfast, get ready, get out, and then not get back until 10 o'clock. And then I want to be exhausted, and I want to get up the next day and do it all over again. Right. So the whole planning phase is very, very important, which is why we kind of want to go through this, because if you don't plan it properly, you can waste a significant portion of your trip miserable, because it's very easy to waste time at Disney and realize in hindsight that you could have done it better and more efficiently?
Absolutely. So what we did, and the reason I shouted out Alexandria, is her husband works at a place called Experience Kissimmee. Her husband's name is Christian. And when she heard me talk about it and how I thought Disney was too expensive, I'd rather do something else, she said that her husband worked for a place that really can tell people how to get around Disney, not just Disney, but experience Florida in total. So let me give you an example. Gia would tell you when we looked at Disney, we had to get 2 rooms because there's so many of us.
Right.
The rooms, because I guess maybe we waited so long where we wanted to stay, the room was $2,500 a night.
Right. But because of the amount of people in our group, we would have had to have booked two of those suites, right, and they would have to be connecting. Because as you guys know, when you book a room, there's a maximum occupancy. So, one can be on the pull-out couch, or 2 can be on the pull-out couch. One can be, in a queen-size bed. One can be here. Like, they kind of map it out. So for us, we needed to book 2 rooms.
Right. So it would have been $5,000 a night. So that's...
And I'm not going to lie. Rashawn was like, nah. For $5,000 a night, we'll do Greece or something like that. You said fuck no.
I didn't say nah. I said fuck no.
I was trying to be nice, but
I said fuck no.
Right.
Anyway.
He was like, nah, not for Disney.
Not for Disney. No.
Not that it's not worth it, but
it's
I
not
think
worth it for $5,000
for that
a night.
type of, for that amount of money, Rashawn had something else in mind.
Absolutely. But so when we talk about Experience Kissimmee, this site in their Twitter and their Instagram, like I said, the lady that listens, Alexandria, she put us on to the site, and we met everybody that actually works there, and I want to shout them out because they were so nice.
Oh my gosh,
Jessica, shout to Jessica, shout to Camilla, shout to Sharon, shout to Herb, shout to Jasmine, and Luis. Now, this site guides you with things to do in Florida, not just Florida. Disney. Mm-hmm. Because when you think of Florida, the first thing that Gia and I thought was Disney. And that's
the misconception.
Right.
You take this flight to Florida and everything that you plan is around Disney, but there's so many other things to do. There's SeaWorld.
Hold on, no, we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down day by day.
Okay.
So first when we got there on a Thursday night. And usually, like I said, we stay at hotels. We have never done an Airbnb. We have never, ever done a rental. This was the first time
we've always been too scared of Airbnbs.
Right.
Because you hear some very horrific Airbnb stories from time to time.
We didn't know if we're going to see cockroaches. We didn't know if we're going to see...
what is wrong with
people with cameras videotaping you at night. Like, we didn't know what we were going to see.
Well, I personally wasn't worried about roaches, but okay maybe cameras.
Right. You just never know. I didn't know what to experience. So,
but you know what it is? A lot of times people get to an Airbnb and it's not what they expect it to be.
Right.
You see pictures and you get like great reviews and you get there and it's a disappointment. I have friends that have, traveled for bachelorette parties or bridal showers or things like that. And they get there and it's like tears.
Right.
So I never wanted to do that. I'd rather stay at a resort or hotel that I've been to before or I've been to their chain before and I know exactly what to expect. I know that my experience is just about guaranteed.
Absolutely. So we went in Thursday night and we stayed at, I guess it's
a vacation home.
A vacation home. I guess a guy he owns a bunch of them. His name is Jeeves. Jeeves Orlando Vacation Homes or Jeeves Florida Vacation Homes. It's one of them. But anyway, Jeeves, they have a bunch of homes.
Yes. And spectacular.
They have homes with bowling alleys, homes with movie theaters, homes with this, homes with that. So the house that we stayed in had 11 bedrooms. A movie theater, an amazing home pool, everything, just a game room. It was a dope crib.
Yeah. And so it's the first time that I've ever seen the little ones, our babies, excited about an accommodation. Like they walked in and they were like, wow. And it's very nice. It's very Central Florida themed. So their bedroom was a room with bunk beds and it was Minion themed. So there was Minion murals on the walls and there was a Pac-Man video game in their room and Minion dolls and everything.
And it's Jeeves Florida Rentals. That's what it is. Jeeves Florida Rentals.
Good job.
I wanted to get it right.
There was a Star Wars room, like all these themed rooms. There was a beautiful room for us. And then even the garage was kind of converted, the space, into like a mini basketball court.
Correct.
And it was Coca-Cola themed, and everything else was beautiful. There was a pool and a jacuzzi, and it felt like home.
Right.
The kids told me that the babies, they said they wanted to stay there because compared to that house, our house was boring.
I heard when he said that.
He's like, it's boring. I don't want to go back home. Can we bring this house back to New Jersey with us? I'm like, no, baby, it doesn't quite work like that.
No, it doesn't work like that. No.
If you want a Minions room, I can make a few phone calls. Maybe we can make that happen, but we can't bring this whole house back to New Jersey. But they loved it.
They loved it. So we stayed there. So we got to our rental, and we went straight to Target. And we got everything. We got Capri Suns. We got chocolate milk. We got Pediasure. We got lunch meat. We got bagels for breakfast.
Bagels,
we got waffles,
cheese,
eggs,
sausage, everything.
We got everything possible to hold us down for that amount of time. Pampers, wipes, paper towels. We got everything because we knew in the morning we would have to hit those parks.
Yes. And not only did we know in the morning that we were going to hit those parks, we knew that when we got to those parks, we didn't want to be buying $9 hot dogs
Correct.
and $8 Coca-Colas and $5 Lay's chips.
Right.
So we loaded up at Target, and our little secret weapon was our stroller.
Right.
Because obviously, you don't want to walk around a theme park with, backpacks filled with stuff. But it was like a frugal moment for us. It's like, you know what? Let's get all this stuff. Let's use the stroller. So we had things stored in the bottom of the stroller,
right.
things hanging on the handles of the stroller. What? You want a chocolate bar? I got it. What? You want some chips? I got it. What? You want some candies? You want some Charlies? You want some Welch's yogurt snacks? I got it. What else do you want? It was very convenient, and it saved us a lot of money in the theme parks, you know? Because I'm definitely one of those people that also smuggles like snacks and stuff into the movie theater.
You definitely are.
I do not get to the movie theater and ask me if I want a Coke or some popcorn or some Goobers or some Sour Patch Kids.
Gia got it in her bag.
Gia's not spending $8 on Sour Patch Kids. I'm just not doing it.
Gia got it in her bag.
I got it in my bag. What you need?
You know what I was thinking about? And this is for the next vacation.
What?
I wonder if they make a stroller with a cooler connected.
I knew you were going to say some stupidness like that.
No, think about it, because if they have
They wouldn't make a stroller.
No,
they might make a cooler on wheels.
No. You can't bring that into the park. But I'm talking about.
They won't know. If you put a kid on top of it, they'll think it's like a.
Yeah.
They'll think it's like a kid cart or something.
But think about it. If they might have a little stroller like with a little compartment where it's like they have, because you got to have something.
They don't have that, Rashawn.
I'm going to look it up.
That doesn't even make sense.
I'm going to look it up. Watch.
They don't have that.
I'm going to have it. But anyway.
But we couldn't bring, that's the only thing we couldn't bring into the park was drinks, because it was so hot that a drink would only stay cool for maybe 5 minutes.
Right.
We did get caught out there having to buy like $8 drinks for everybody. Every time we hit like a soda stand, I'm spending like $60, $70. Every time someone got thirsty, it was $70. Right. It was killing me. Oh my gosh. So I'm like, guys, you just got to suck it up. Like, there's no fountains. There's no water fountains around here.
No, what is it? Go to the bathroom, sing, and drink some of that water.
Yeah. No.
But it was very expensive and very, very hot. Like this week in Disney. It was very hot, 90 degrees, and then it would
like
thunderstorm for 2 hours.
Pouring off you, like underneath my boobs were soaked. Like the whole trip, girls, you know what I'm talking about. Like the whole trip underneath my boobs was soaked. I'm like, oh, this is so gross.
That's TMI.
But that's the truth. Girls are shaking their head right now. Like, yep, on them hot days.
You ever touch under it and smell it to see if you stink?
No, that's nasty.
Okay, I'm just curious. But anyway.
But I have seen like one of those like wet marks on a t-shirt, on a cotton t-shirt because of it before though.
My goodness, but it was that hot. Next time you sweat, I'm going to put my hand under the see if it stinks. But anyway.
That's really nasty. So would never.
So now, Friday morning, we start off Friday morning.
Well, first, let me just say, if you guys are traveling to a place like this where it's going to take a little bit of preparation, it's a good idea to fly in the night before. So we flew in Thursday evening so that we got there, we got settled, so that in the morning, all we had to do was wake up, fresh, eat breakfast, shower, and head out, clothes laid out and everything. Because if not, a lot of times when we've gone on vacation, we got there in the morning, you rush back to the hotel, everybody has to shower, eat something, get dressed quickly. And then by the time you hit wherever it is that you want to go, it's the afternoon or the late afternoon, and you kind of waste a day. So it's nice to fly in the night before so that you can do everything in a settled way, in a calm way, where you're not rushing.
Right. So we got there Thursday night. Friday morning, we start off fresh. We wake up early, and the girls left the guys because London had a booty boutique boop boop boop.
That's the best way that you could put it together.
I don't know. What was it called?
Well, because this was the baby's birthday celebration.
No, I'm bugging. Friday, no, we did that Saturday. Friday.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Friday we did, okay, so Friday we woke up. Friday morning we started with Chef Mickey's.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So Chef Mickey, so explain to the people what a character breakfast is.
Well, if you have children, and again, even if you don't, but especially if you have children, one of the things that you want to do when planning a Disney trip, and you have to do it early. You can't do it like a month before. Mm-hmm. You would probably want to do it, I would say at least 3 months before. You have to book your character dining. Right. And a lot of people book their Disney vacations a year in advance.
Correct.
Because these character dinings get booked up so quick. Mm-hmm. You will find yourself 2 months beforehand trying to make a reservation and them telling you that there is no reservations available.
Right.
So a character dining is pretty much one of their dining experiences that they have in different places around Disney. This particular one, Chef Mickey's, is at the Contemporary Hotel, where you go there for breakfast. It's a breakfast buffet, great food.
Food is great.
And the characters come out. Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald.
Goofy.
Goofy. Go ahead. Now, I know you want to say
now,
it.
How many times did you call Pluto Goofy and Goofy Pluto?
Goofy was going to knock me out.
Goofy was going to punch you in your face. Goofy was like, look, he almost said, bitch, I'm not Pluto, okay? I know kids are around,
listen,
but bitch, I am not
his little mask could move, he definitely would have said that to me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Mickey and his whole gang comes out, and there's photo ops that, they come to your table. You can take pictures with them. They sign autographs. Make sure you get a little autograph book for your children so that as you go from park to park and you run into characters, they will gladly sign the autograph book for you. So they do that, and it's a great experience for the kids. Like, your toddlers feel like they're really meeting the real Mickey Mouse because it's official, because you're in Disney World.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was fun. The food was great. We got to take pictures. And then where did we go after that? We went to Andretti's go-karting.
Yes, we went to Andretti's go-karting.
Now, Andretti's go-karting is a huge go-kart place where, if you have, I think there's 3 different levels of go-karting. There is, I believe, I want to say 8 to 10.
Or something like that.
And then there is like 12 to 16. And then if you have a license, you can drive in
I doubt he really knows. Don't go by his ages, but something like that.
Something like that.
It's something like that.
So we raced with the older kids, and it was a lot of fun. Gia and I are very competitive. What?
Nothing. Go ahead. I'm just waiting to see what you're going to say.
And that was that. And
that was... What? Go ahead, Rashawn.
And that was that.
No, go ahead.
So that was cool.
No, that wasn't that, and that wasn't cool. Go ahead.
They had arcade games.
Really? Okay, so bleep the arcades. So what he's failing to tell you all is that I whooped his ass in the race. Whooped his ass. Why are you silent?
No.
Why are you silent?
You didn't whip my ass.
I whooped your ass.
You beat me.
And I couldn't even get you to muster up a smile, a little congratulations, a little, all right, you did that. Nothing. Like, we got out of those cars and all that I saw was an ice grill, but not like a playful jokey joke. No, this guy was pissed. You were so upset when they handed out those papers and my time was better than yours that you couldn't even hide it. You couldn't even fake it for me. You couldn't even fake it for me. I was very disappointed.
That's not true.
It was one of the pinnacles in my life because, I do beat you in a lot of things like Monopoly, like a foot race. Liar. Like, there are things that just kind of come with the territory because I'm Gia and you're Rashawn. Like, I'm going to beat you. Fibber. You know what I mean? But this, I wasn't so sure. I'm like, damn, I really got to put my best foot forward if I want to win this race. And I got to be honest, I didn't know that it was going to happen. But as I was racing and I was turning those turns and, my car is fishtailing and I'm hitting it and I'm moving and I'm speeding and I'm looking at you and then, you're in the rear. I'm like, oh my God, I might actually win. It was one of the high points in my life. So thank you for that experience. I didn't really need your congratulations. It would have been nice. It would have showed good sportsmanship on your part. You didn't give it up. But I didn't need it because the paper showed that I beat your ass.
You didn't beat my ass.
Yes, I did.
You beat me by like 0.3 seconds.
Well, did I win?
And
did I beat you?
And
a simple yes or no would suffice.
The only reason you passed me,
just a yes or no,
was
we don't need
because
excuses.
There was a
See, here come the excuses, guys, wait, get ready. Here come the excuses. He's going to talk about someone crashed in front of him. Oh, someone spun out in front of him.
That's what happened.
So what? Someone didn't crash in front of me. Someone didn't spin out in front of me. We're on a racetrack. Right. All of these things happen. It's par for the course.
The difference.
No pun intended.
It's the difference.
And it's going to happen.
I'll let you finish. Tell me when you're done.
Okay, so I'm not done. So as I passed him, I flipped him the bird and I saw the hurt and the pain in his face. I looked back over my left shoulder and I was like, wow, this is one of those failing moments in his life that he's going to do everything in his power the next time to try to get over and make up for. But I'm not going to give him the opportunity. Well, now you can speak.
Well, I'm listening. I'm going to tell you guys what happened. And sometimes a loss is a win. Sometimes a loss is a win. So what happened when we were racing?
Wasn't one of those times.
They had a little girl on a track.
Now you're gonna lie?
A little girl. I let you say your side. Let me say my side. There was a little girl on the track.
I thought we couldn't race with little girls. I thought there were different age ranges. So you're just going to lie?
A younger girl, I should say. She was a younger girl. And you could tell this was probably her first time, her first experience at go-karting. And she looked very scared. And she had two hands on the wheels. And when she was turning, she spun out and crashed into the barricade. And she looked so frightened. And I didn't want to zoom past her because I didn't think that would be the adult thing to do.
So you strolled past her slowly to make sure that she was okay?
No.
Is that what happened with this imaginary female that you're referring to?
I slowed down and I said, young girl, are you okay? And she said, thank you very much, mister. You are the best. You are my Superman. And I said, don't worry, it'll be okay. And then you zoomed past me and gave me the bird. And the poor girl,
is that what happened?
And the poor girl started crying because she thought you threw her the bird. But I was really protecting the youth.
So in reality, he was on the track by himself and I zoomed past him and flipped him the bird. That's kind of actually what happened.
But that was that. So we did race.
Can I get a congratulations?
I said congratulations.
Can you muster up a smile?
I said it already.
No, you didn't. Look at me in the eye.
Congrats.
Smile. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean. Be like, yeah, you won. You beat me.
Okay. Yeah.
You beat me in a car race.
You beat me by 0.3 seconds.
You beat me. Did I beat you? A win is a win. A win is a win. A win is a win. If you might have cut that corner as good as I cut that corner, you might have won, but you didn't. You know why? Because you are a loser in this case.
Right. Okay. If you want to be proud of being a savage and almost killing a girl on the
I was kind of savage on the track.
You almost killed a girl on the track, but that's okay. All right. And then, the second race after I lost, I was like, fuck this.
And then you lost again to Logan.
I said, anybody in my way, I'm cutting off. I knocked Logan into the barricade so crazy. He was like, Dad, you're my dad. I don't care. I'm winning. This is what it takes.
But you still lost. It was all in vain because you still lost.
I did lose that one too. I did lose that too. But anyway, that was Andretti. Yes, we're very competitive. We're a competitive family. And I lost that one too.
Yes, you did.
But then after, we went right across the street. There was a Top Golf right across the street. I know a lot of you guys have been to Top Golf. I have never been. So we took the kids Top Golf. And at Top Golf, it was for everybody except the baby, except for Brooklyn. Jackson was able to golf.
There.
Yeah, she was there. Jackson was able to golf. London was able to golf. Of course, Madison and Logan and all of us. We just had an amazing time hitting the balls. And there's different games and different ways you can play. And we had food there. They had
food was great.
They had chicken and waffles in Top Golf.
But no, their food, that was the best nachos I've ever had.
Nachos was amazing.
Yeah. So wait, they're a chain. They have Top Golfs all over, right?
All over, yeah. Well, I heard the one in Vegas is like the best.
Oh, really? Well, the one in Orlando was great.
The one in Orlando was very dope. So we did that. And then that was our day. We spent the whole day with Chef Mickey's, go-kart racing, and in Top Golf. We got back to the crib and we just ordered Domino's.
And passed out.
And then Saturday morning, that's when we did the bippity boppity boop thing.
Bippity Boppity Boutique. So as we told you before, we were in Disney and in Central Florida to celebrate the baby's birthday. So I planned a special dinner for London, and it's one of those, this is probably the most popular and the hardest reservation to get out of all of them. It's called Cinderella's Royal Table. So this character dinner involves Cinderella and all of the princesses. So you walk into the Magic Kingdom. So the castle, which is located in Magic Kingdom. And, you know, the restaurant is actually in the castle. So you go into the castle and Cinderella's there, and you're able to have a photo with Cinderella, and then you go up the stairs to the dining room. And while you're dining, all of the Disney princesses come out. So Belle, Jasmine, Snow White, the entire gang, all of them come out one by one. They come to your tables, they sign autographs, they take pictures. But what was the most impressive is that they are in full on character, from the wave to the smile to the head tilt to the voice to the things that they say. Like they are, I'm sitting there like, are you like the real Snow White?
Because, did you get an autograph?
I got my own autograph.
He's stupid.
No, seriously, but you know, I had my own autograph book, and then the babies had theirs. Madison and Logan didn't want them, but I definitely wanted mine. So, you know, they sign all of them, and it's really special. It was really nice for London. They give all the little girls magical wands. So in preparation for that, so that was her dinner. So I didn't bring Jackson to that one. The boys, we split up at that time. All the girls, we took London to Cinderella's royal table dinner, and then the boys all went to dinner separately in Epcot.
Right.
So while we were there, London was just in like this little girl heaven. Like I couldn't even imagine. So in preparation for it, earlier that day, we took her to the Bippity Boppity Boutique. There's one in Magic Kingdom. There's another one in Disney Springs. Disney Springs is like this huge shopping area. It's all Disney themed. It's wonderful. Like if you just want a day off and you want to go to a restaurant or shop, it's all Disney, everything Disney. There's like a beautiful lake, if you will, and whatnot there. Like it's very, very nice. So that Bippity Boppity Boutique is located in Disney Springs. So you go there and it's a little salon. It's like a princess inspired salon.
I didn't go, but I seen the video. It looks like London had an amazing time.
Oh, I mean, come on. Like that's right up London's alley. So you go in, you check in, you have a reservation, you get to pick which princess you'd want to be. So they have all of the dresses on display, a lot of the dresses on mannequins, some of them in an armoire, and you get to pick out what kind of dress you want because they have different levels of dresses, different styles of dresses. You pick that, then you get to pick your hairstyle, and they have maybe 4 different hairstyles that the girls get to choose from. And then they do their makeup, they do their nails, they put jewels on their face. But the experience is so nice. They take you into the boutique, you sit in like this big chair, and you have 2 to 3 women working on you all at one time. You're faced away from the mirror. Then when they're done, they spin the chair around, and then it's this big reveal. And just looking around, seeing the look on all these different girls' faces, it was very special because they're in Disney and they're having like the full on experience.
I can imagine. I know she's such a Disney princess person that she would love it.
And she's such like a little hair. I mean, London watches like kid makeup tutorials like on YouTube on her iPad. It's crazy. Now, Brooklyn wasn't bleeping with it. Like Brooklyn was not about that princess life. She's not about the Mickey life. Ever since Chef Mickey's, when the first character came out,
she wasn't fucking with that shit. She was like, nah,
honestly, it was like, oh my God, I think they're going to eat me.
Yes.
And she would cringe up in a ball, cry, hands and legs all over the place, like, get away from me. So since Chef Mickey's, she didn't mess with anything. I was surprised that she messed with the golf ball at Topgolf. But everywhere that she went, when she saw something that she wasn't familiar with, she was like, no, I'm not taking no pictures. Don't look at me. I'm not smiling. I'm going to cry. If you have me in your picture, I'm just going to mess everything up on purpose. Get me out of this place. So we owe her something. We owe her like a Sesame Street or Sesame Place.
Something.
Or something.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we did that. So you guys went over to there and did your female thing while the fellas and I, we just went on as many rides as possible at Epcot till you guys were done.
Yeah.
And then you guys went to your dinner and
she stayed in her Cinderella dress the entire day. Like she would not take it off.
You know, that day we didn't even eat. We didn't even go to the dinner because you scheduled the dinner, like Chippendales or something like that.
Chippendale.
Yeah, we didn't even eat. We stayed on rides all day long. I got them a hot dog and was like, y'all gonna eat this hot dog while we wait in line.
That hot dog cost as much as dinner, as a sit down dinner, I'm sure.
You damn right it did. Now Saturday, that's Saturday and Sunday. Now let me tell you.
Wait, no, that was Friday and Saturday.
No, that was Saturday morning.
Right. So what are you talking about Sunday? You just said that was Saturday and Sunday.
Oh no, I'm explaining. I'm saying Saturday and Sunday we didn't have. If you go to Disney, they have what do they call? Fast passes?
Yeah, Disney has fast passes.
Or they have escort that can take you around. So for Saturday and Sunday, we didn't have fast passes or escorts.
Yes, because we rearranged our schedule, and at the end of replanning, I decided that on the weekend, okay, let me explain it to you in the best way possible. So while we were there, we ordered an escort service.
Correct.
Where someone comes, they pick you up at your vacation home, they take you to the park, and they kind of roll out the red carpet for you. They make everything easy and convenient.
Correct.
They plan out your entire stay at the parks. They decide which order you're going to go on all of the rides. They expedite it for you, and everything is as little stressful as possible. So that's great. And I love that we're able to do that. But at the same time, I wanted the kids to have an experience of not having an escort.
Right. Because I didn't have an escort as a kid.
I didn't have an escort as a kid when I went to Disney. So I wanted my kids to be able to see what it's like to just rough it, to just do it the normal way. And you know, it's a shame because in a sense, when you give your kids a lot, I think that a lot of kids fall under the umbrella of thinking that that's normal and thinking that that's the way that everybody experiences it. And if you don't have a reference point, it's hard for you to gauge reality versus, you know, maybe having an exceptional experience.
Correct.
And I want to make sure that our kids have the ability to discern one from the other, because if you're not able to discern one from the other, you're not able to truly appreciate certain things.
Absolutely.
So I said to Rashawn, I said, you know what, for these 2 days, I just want to get normal park passes and do the lines the normal way. And in a way, yeah, I mean, we spited ourselves in a sense because we waited on lines for 2 hours.
Yeah, which is crazy.
2.5 hours.
Very crazy.
But with that being the experience, the kids know what it's like to really have to wait 2 hours to go on a 90-second ride.
Yeah.
You know, which is good for them.
And I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck that.
But do you not agree that it was good for them?
Absolutely, it was good for them. They got to experience and they got to really...
And that was their first experience.
Right.
That was their first experience. And then after those 2 days, then by Monday, when we were visiting the parks with an escort, then they were like, okay.
Absolutely.
Like, wow, this is the difference. We're lucky to be able to experience it that way. But this way, okay, yeah, this is easy. This is great. I'm grateful. Okay, now, you know, a 90-minute wait might be a 2-minute wait.
Right.
And now they can say, all right, well, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for this experience. If not, they would just be like, oh, yeah, well, this is regular. And you don't see the value in it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So that Saturday and Sunday, we waited online. I mean, when I say online,
oh my God, it was so miserable.
It was hour and a half, 2 hour lines. You waiting in
whatever.
90-degree weather. It was good because we did it as a family. So it was fun. We just got to tell stories. So that was Saturday. Sunday was the same. We waited on a lot of lines. We went to Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom was wait, what was Saturday was Epcot. Right.
So Sunday was Animal Kingdom. That's when we went through the safari.
Yes, we did the safari. We did that new ride called Flight of Passage, where I heard that Fast Pass books out months in advance. And if you get there and decide you want to do it anyway because you don't have a fast pass, I've heard that wait can get up to 5 hours.
Right.
It's based on the movie Avatar, and the ride is a simulation ride where you get on an apparatus that's similar to a bike.
Right.
And there's a screen in front of you, and your bike and the floor that you were on moves in accordance with the virtual reality that you're experiencing.
Correct.
And the effect is that it makes you feel as though you're riding on the back of a banshee and soaring over mountains and dipping and diving.
It's amazing, yes.
Yes, a lot of people, it's their opinion that is the best ride in all of Disney World.
Right.
So in all of the 4 parks, a lot of people agree that is their favorite ride. But there were people that literally have been waiting online. Like when we went, like I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have you been online? Right. At this point, 3 hours and you're still towards the back.
Right.
You know, so that's what it's like. So we did that ride.
So you got to schedule your fast pass for that ride early.
Well, the way that Disney works is every day, if you do get the fast passes, you're allowed up to 3 fast passes. So let's say you're spending the day in Hollywood Studios and you want to ride the biggest 3 rides, the most popular rides. You have to get your fast passes for those 3 rides. Once you use those three fast passes, you're on your own for the rest of the attractions or rides or shows that you want to see or experience.
So in Animal Kingdom, besides the Avatar ride, which was dope, one of the best rides of the week for me, Safari was amazing.
Yes, we did the Safari. So you get, in a, what would you call it? Like a trolley type of vehicle?
Yeah.
Would you call it kind of similar to a trolley, I guess?
So, yeah.
And you go through the safari.
It's like a big Hummer.
Okay, if you will.
Yeah, like a huge Hummer.
So you get to experience all of the animals. So giraffes and all types of elephants, just all types of experiences. So that was very nice. I really liked the safari. Then there's Mount Everest, which is their biggest roller coaster. It goes frontwards, it goes backwards. And then there's, oh my gosh, there was the Lion King show, which was phenomenal.
Lion King show was great.
Ricky loved that.
What about the A Bug's Life?
Yes, then there's A Bug's Life.
Oh, that was
which
funny.
Was pretty funny.
You just don't want to tell people about it, but just go experience because you don't want to give it up. When it happens, you just want to be like, oh shit,
Yeah, A Bug's Life. But London and Jackson were scared.
They were.
And then Irma and Mercedes were scared.
Right.
Yeah, there were things that happened.
If Bugs creeps you out, and some of these are not roller coasters. Some of these are just like rides and shows.
Yeah, well, A Bug's Life is a show. The Lion King is a show. Finding Nemo was a show. Those are the 3 shows that we saw in Animal Kingdom. But yeah, Bug's Life. Yeah, if you have a toddler, you might want somebody to explain it to you before you decide, because London and Jackson, they weren't really feeling it.
Right.
But they loved Lion King and Finding Nemo. And then we rode a ride called Dinosaur. We did a lot in Animal Kingdom. That was actually one of my favorite days. I loved Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Then the next day
we did the
Hollywood Studios.
We did the tour.
Oh, the next day we did Wild Florida.
No. We did Celebration.
That was the next day. But what did we do before Celebration? We did Wild Florida and then Celebration.
Yeah, Wild Florida.
Yeah. So the next day we did something. We visited a place called Wild Florida where we took an airboat ride through the swamps to see the alligators in their natural habitat. So we went through kind of like the opening, the entrance to the Everglades. We went through there and we were able to encounter some alligators. And it's a really cool place. It's a rescue for a lot of animals. So there were alligators that were, not in the wild, that they had kind of held. There was an albino alligator. There were crocodiles, sloths. There were these little animals that looked like monkeys. These little, oh my God, they were like toy monkeys. Right. I don't remember what they were called, but all I know is that I wanted one. I'm like, is it possible that we can buy one of these? Like, are they legal in the States? Like, can you actually? And I think you can, but they were like, they could be a little unpredictable.
Right.
Because they're, what did he call them? Primal?
I don't know.
Animals? Anyway, something like that. But it's kind of like a zoo experience in a sense, but it's really like a rescue. So we did that. And then we visited this town called Celebration. And I'm going to let Rashawn explain that because he was very fascinated by it.
Right. So now...
Let me just start because I don't even know if you remember. I'll start by saying that when Walt Disney was alive, he had a lot of thoughts, ideas, and dreams that never came to fruition while he was alive.
Right.
And one of his ideas is that he wanted to build a perfect town.
Correct.
Or at least what perfect was in his mind.
Correct.
And I'm talking about like the whole town looks like Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. We're talking white picket fences and perfect lawns and things of that nature. Now
right.
Shoot.
So now this area, like what Gia said, Walt Disney wanted to create a perfect destination for fun and family. So he bought all this acres of land in Florida and wanted to create his own airport, his own restaurant, his own village. So Celebration is its own town that he created, which houses start from, they have low income family houses to high income houses. No. He does, yes.
What do you mean low income family houses?
He said it was supposed to be like low income, like the people who can't necessarily afford it. He had homes for them as well. And that's how he started off.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Well, you slept on that. You slept during that part.
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep during that part.
I was so beat. I did fall asleep during part of the tour. But
no,
when you say low income, what do you mean?
Like as cheap as possible. Like for people who might not be able to afford much.
In celebrations?
In celebration, yeah. He created homes for them and mansions. So that's what makes it so dope. So everybody can experience.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, everybody can experience a little bit of everything. So celebration is like Gia said.
It has its own zip code.
Its own zip code, its own middle school, his own elementary school, its own high school. It even has a little university over there. Mm-hmm. And at one time, the high school was the #1 high school in Florida.
Which is incredible.
The #1 high school because they handpicked the teachers. Mm-hmm. And it's just an amazing town. Everything is perfect. A lot of famous.
Well, a version of perfect.
Everything is it looks perfect to me.
I mean,
the
perfect
trees
is such a weird word.
No, that town, the trees hang perfectly.
I think it's his version of perfect.
Well, it was my version of perfect too.
But the best way to describe it is that it really looked like Wisteria Lane. It looked like the whole town looks like a movie set.
It does,
but it's real life.
It does.
Real people living there. I mean, like. It's real life. And the way that he wanted it was like small, narrow streets. Mm-hmm. And it was a problem for the town and whatnot because you couldn't fit fire trucks down those small, narrow streets. So while Disney was alive, he bought fire trucks that were smaller that could go down the streets instead of changing the width of the streets because that was how he saw perfection. Like for him, in a perfect neighborhood, the streets would be narrow. So now it's a problem because he's not here to fund new fire trucks.
Right.
So now they want to widen the streets again, and it's a little bit of a problem. But it really is beautiful. And don't get me wrong, like we're not talking about mansions. There are some mansions there, but these are nice, like small homes side by side, some a little bit larger than others, different sizes. But I would say in general, they're like average sized homes, one after the other, and it's a whole town that looks like this. Right. And I'm surprised we've never heard of it because it's interesting.
No, I never heard of it, and it has its own back entrance to Disney, so you don't have to worry about traffic.
Right,
it has its own entrance to Disney. It have parks. It has places to eat. It's just a dope
restaurants,
town.
A movie theater. Yeah. All types of things.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. It was an interesting thing. So we took a little ride, kind of also like a trolley, like a motorized trolley that took us through and explained everything. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That was very cool. I actually loved it. And
you really liked it.
It was a cool tour. It was something different, and that's part of what we did in Florida for the 10 days. We just didn't do everything amusement park. We took tours. We went to the alligator farm. We did a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. So then the next day we went to
Hollywood Studios.
Universal Studios.
The next day, we did Hollywood Studios before Universal, I think.
No, we did Universal Studios.
No, we didn't.
I'm looking at the schedule. That's what I'm looking at.
We did.
Mm-hmm. We did Universal.
Say so. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
Right. We did Universal.
Uh-huh.
And Universal.
You have to do Universal.
Well, I thought Disney owned Universal.
I did too.
But they don't. It's totally separate. So Universal was...
You know what it is? I confused Hollywood Studios with Universal Studios. So I just thought it was all Disney affiliated. But it's not. Universal is its own entity, separate and apart from Disney.
Right. So we went to Universal, and Universal had some of the dopest rides.
Loved Universal Studios.
Had a great time there. Universal is heavy into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So they had like a huge Harry Potter section with rides and all types of Butterbear and we just had they have a dope ride too. The Harry Potter ride was dope.
Well, I'm going to tell you my two favorite rides. So now I'm a thrill seeker. If you guys listen to this podcast, you know I love roller coasters. There isn't a single roller coaster that I wouldn't do and do 10 times in a row. I love it. So I'm getting to a point where roller coasters almost don't impress me. They don't really scare me. They don't really thrill me too much unless it's something completely unique and different. So for me, my favorite rides on this trip were Flight of Passage in Pandora in Animal Kingdom and the Harry Potter ride in Universal Studios. It's something, those two rides are something like, if you haven't done them already, it's something like you would never experience. I explained how the one in Pandora, Flight of Passage, was. Harry Potter, you go in like a cart, in a sense, that's on a roller coaster, but not a fast, thrilling roller coaster.
Right.
It's on a track. And the way that the track and the cart move in conjunction with one another is very unique. So it doesn't just move forward and backward. It also moves sideways, and then it leans you back on your back, sometimes like at a 90-degree angle on your back, and then you lean forward, and the track moves through this space. And at different points in the space are different screens that offer you a virtual reality experience. So it makes you feel as though you're flying through the sky. On Harry Potter's, what was he on? A broom?
A broom.
Is that what he rode on? Yeah. So it makes you feel like you're riding through with Harry Potter, like right next to him, and you're going into like these different spaces and different things are encountering you. And the way that the technology is that allows these things to happen in unison, the track with the cart and the way that the cart moves and the screens and how you move from space to space is incredible.
Yeah, Universal.
We rode that ride twice in a row. I thought that was fantastic, and I liked it because it was so unique.
Right.
So that was in Harry Potter land. But there's also Marvel. There's Dr. Seuss. There's roller coasters. They had Dr. Doom, which is a big drop ride.
Right.
They had Spider-Man, which was similar to Harry Potter, but it was great, but not as impressive to
Harry
me.
Potter was way better, yeah.
There was Transformers. There was Fast and Furious. There was Minions. There was Shrek. The Hulk ride, which is a huge roller coaster. What was the big one that was like red that played music while...
Oh, I
want to call it the Rock and Roller Coaster, but I'm wondering if that might have been the ride in Hollywood Studios.
I don't remember what it was called, but was it Aerosmith?
Well, it's a roller coaster. Like, it's an intense roller coaster.
Right.
You go up in your cart at a 90-degree angle.
Straight up, yep.
So you go straight up on your back, and you know that coming over that hump is like a crazy drop.
Right.
But as you're getting situated in your cart, you get to decide what kind of music you want to hear. So first it gives you genre. You press the genre and then you choose who. So I might have chose like pop disco and then I chose Fergie's Glamorous. So the first time that we were riding, that's what I heard throughout the whole trip. The second time we rode it, I heard Beastie Boys. I think I heard Beastie Boys. Insane in the Membrane.
Oh, okay.
Who was that? Was it not
Cypress
Beastie
Hill.
Boys? Cypress Hill. Insane in the Membrane. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I did Kanye Stronger, and I did NERD.
I saw those options.
Rockstar. Yeah, I did those too.
Yeah. So it's like an intense roller coaster. So, we rode that. So it has a little bit of everything. It has so many things for the kids, so many things for adults,
right.
So many things that the two different generations can enjoy together. I loved Universal Studios.
That was
and our escort, our tour guide was fantastic. His name is Kyle, and he was just so knowledgeable. He educated us on a lot of things. His favorite ride was the Mummy, and I think that was Irma's favorite ride as well.
Yep.
The Mummy was really, really dope. So we brought Irma and Mercedes with us, and I wanted them to experience the rides separately.
Correct.
Because obviously somebody has to wait with the smaller kids that couldn't do the ride. So they would wait in like a family waiting room, and then they would switch. So then one would get on the ride, one would get off and stay with the babies. So every ride we pretty much rode twice so that each of them would be able to experience the rides, because Irma has never done
absolutely
a roller coaster before. And oh my gosh. No, but see, the thing about
she
Irma...
liked it, but then she hated it.
Well, Irma is the type, she's game for anything. Like, she'll try anything once, but after she rode the Hulk, she was like, okay, no more roller coasters for me.
She's like, no more, I'm done.
I said what? She was like, I feel like a different person. I said, what do you mean? She was like, my head. Oh my God, my head. I don't even know what's going on. She was totally shaken up, because you have to work your way up when it comes to roller coasters. You just can't go on the biggest ride in the park and just be like, all right, I'm gonna be good. You have to work your way up. So I just don't think she was ready for it.
Right.
But she said it was great, but she was done with roller coasters for the rest of the trip.
Yeah, she didn't get on another roller coaster. But that was Universal. And then next day, SeaWorld.
Yes.
Now, SeaWorld, tell them about SeaWorld. I didn't make the SeaWorld one.
Yes. Rashawn had, what was it, a show?
I had to go back for Remy Martin. Remy Martin had an event, and I had to host the Remy Martin event.
Yeah. So my Superman of a husband left us the night before, flew back to New York, did his show, and then flew back right after the show, 5:30 in the morning, and was ready to go 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he missed the day at SeaWorld. So that was just me and the kids. And SeaWorld is pretty cool. I had no idea that it had, I just didn't imagine that SeaWorld had roller coasters.
Yeah.
I thought it might have had like little rides and little shows, but every time that I imagined SeaWorld, I just imagined like the whale show and the dolphin show. Mm-hmm. But come to find out that the same people that make the Hulk made their 3 roller coasters. Mm-hmm. And not for nothing, their 3 roller coasters kind of knocked all the other roller coasters on their asses.
Really?
Yes. They had one roller coaster that I liked the most just because it was more different than your typical, thrilling roller coaster. Mm-hmm. It was similar to Superman at Great Adventure. So, you get harnessed. Well, not really harnessed, but technically, I guess it's a harness, like a steel harness.
Right.
And then the ride flips you on your stomach. So if you've never rode Superman, or you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're not a big roller coaster person, if you can imagine being on a roller coaster and the track is above you. So you imagine that you are 180 degrees. Uh-huh. When you look down, there is nothing beneath you. So you are flying in a sense like a superhero.
Right. Gotcha.
And the track is above you. So that is a great experience. Like I said, very similar to Superman, but from my recollection, it's more intense than Superman, better than Superman. I think that one is called, I can't remember. There was Mako. This one starts with a M as Manta. Okay. That ride is called Manta. Then Mako at SeaWorld is the tallest, the fastest, and the longest roller coaster in Orlando. Mm-hmm. So Mako was like the big deal.
Gotcha.
I said, you know what? We have to do Mako before we do anything else, because what happens in Florida in the summer, from what I understand, it rains at some point every day.
Right.
Usually around 4:00-ish. So if you're in an amusement park, their rule, and I don't know exactly what the rule is, so I might be off by a couple of minutes or a couple of miles, but you'll get the point. Mm-hmm. If lightning strikes within, I think it might be
2 miles.
Are you sure it's 2 miles?
Said 2 miles. Yeah.
I thought it was 15 miles, but whichever way, within a certain range, they shut the ride down, all of the rides, the outdoor rides, for about maybe 30 minutes.
Right.
To make sure that there's no lightning in the vicinity. If it strikes again, then it's another 30 minutes. So if it rains, which it does every day, and lightning strikes, which it seemed to have striked every day.
Every day.
At some point during your day, typically around the 4:00 mark, the ride that you might have been standing on for 2 hours or 3 hours may be shut down.
It's a wrap, right?
It's a wrap. And then you can decide if you want to wait indefinitely to get on that ride, or they compensate you. Like they give you like an open fast pass for another ride,
correct,
for instance, or any other ride of your choice.
Right.
You don't just lose your fast pass, but you lose your time. And that's what I was talking about when it comes to planning Disney. Mm-hmm. It helps to know these things. So you want to hit your rides, your roller coasters, your outdoor rides, if you're a thrill seeker, early in the morning or in the early afternoon or in the evening. Correct. So around that time where you're expecting rain, because that ruined some days for a lot of families that we ran into. I mean,
Absolutely.
Obviously, common sense tells you that it would ruin it for you. So we hit Mako and Manta immediately and enjoyed those 2 rides. And then
the shows.
Manta. Wait, there was one more ride in SeaWorld. Oh yeah, and then there was another one called, can't remember the name of it, but it was a virtual reality ride where you go on an actual roller coaster, but you put on a headset that gives you a virtual reality experience. So this particular one makes you feel as though you're going through the sea, and octopuses and I don't know, maybe sharks, maybe not sharks, I don't remember, but I definitely remember the octopus are like coming, like encountering you when you're going through the sea, but you're on an outdoor, real, thrilling roller coaster.
Wow.
So yeah, people really like that one. London's favorite ride was a ride called Atlantis. And it's a water ride. You go through in like a log, and then there's this big drop. I couldn't believe that she was able to do it.
Right.
And, Jackson does what London does.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if London says she's doing it, Jackson's doing it. If London said no, Jackson would be like, oh, no, not for me either.
Gotcha.
He's kind of like that personality. But I was surprised that I'm sitting there like, you're watching this log with this like damn near vertical drop into like a body of water and this huge splash, and it doesn't scare you. She's like, no, I want to do it. I was like, okay. So we did it, and then we did it again, and then we did it again. Like, she loved it. That was her favorite ride of the whole vacation.
No, was it?
Oh, that was her favorite ride of the whole vacation. I know where you're going with this, but yeah.
Yes. And then you guys did the shows.
We did the shows. We did the whale show. We did the sea lion show. We did the dolphin show. I tell you guys, like, I will plan a day. Like, we're not going to miss anything. No stone unturned. So we did everything that SeaWorld had to offer. And then this other little virtual reality thing called Turtle Trek. And I was very surprised because all these virtual reality things I hadn't experienced before, because I'm really like a Great Adventure and, like a regular amusement park kind of girl. And I'm surprised that the technology in those parks hasn't caught up to Disney World, SeaWorld, and Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like,
well, you know what?
We've never been on these type of virtual reality rides.
No,
they're very, very cool.
Not at all. Yeah, but you know what? Well, I can't wait to go back to Disney. But anyway.
So wait, when did we do Hollywood Studios?
I don't remember doing Hollywood Studios.
Rashawn, oh my gosh, Hollywood Studios.
Which one was that?
That was the day that we did Frozen Ever After. That was the day that we did Tower of Terror. That was the day when we did that other roller coaster where Aerosmith, there was like a hologram of Aerosmith.
That's what I thought you were talking about when you said the rock and roller coaster. Remember I said
that was Universal Studios.
Oh, well, we missed a day. So Hollywood
Studios.
I think we did that Monday.
That was the day that we went to the Italian restaurant.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
And we took the picture in front of the Chinese theater.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
The Tower of Terror where it brought you up and then dropped you down unexpectedly.
I missed the day.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you it was Hollywood Studios. You were like, no, it's Universal Studios. I was like, all right, I'm just going to rock with it. But no, we did Hollywood Studios. I really liked Hollywood Studios too. And then later on that night, we left Hollywood Studios and then we went to see the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, which was phenomenal.
I don't know how many nights a week they do that, but that was
They do it every
great.
night.
The same firework every night?
Yeah, they have to do it every night. People are traveling from all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah, they do that every night.
That was amazing.
The one at Epcot, when we were that day that London did her Cinderella dinner, we came back and met you guys at Epcot, and there was a firework and light show there as well. But that one, and we heard that was the one to go to. I don't know who we heard that from, but no, forget about it. The one at Magic Kingdom was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So that's how we closed out that night. And then after that, we went home.
Oh, no. And then, we went home after that. And then the last day in Florida was water park.
Was Universal Studios Volcano Bay.
And we picked the wrong day to go to the water park.
Which turned out to be the right day, though. Right. You don't think so?
Yes. We were there 10 days. And 9 days, it didn't rain. It would only rain for 2 hours. The 10th day, the day that we go to the water park, it rained all day.
Like it was.
All day.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But it was good because the water park, when it started raining, everybody left. So when it finally stopped raining,
because the forecast showed that it was going to rain until 8:00 p.m.
Right.
And you kept trying to leave.
I did.
And I'm like, nah, let's just wait it out. Let's just see, because they closed a lot of the rides because of the lightning.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? And I would recommend this to you guys. If you can, if you go to a water park and cabanas are available, or a lot of people go to the Bahamas and they visit the Atlantis.
Correct.
If you can get a cabana, at a resort like that, if you can do it, get a cabana, because it makes life so much easier. If we didn't have a cabana, we couldn't have stayed, because we would have just literally been sitting out there, toughing it out in the rain.
Right.
Because when you go to a resort or something, usually what you have to do, you have to get up early, if you don't have a cabana, and go find the lawn chairs.
Right.
You have to claim it. You got to put all your stuff on it, put your towels on it to let everybody know
it's yours.
This is mine. Now, if you just put like a little bag, somebody will move your bag to the next one or the closest available. You will lose your lawn chair. You got to put a whole bunch of stuff and like state your claim in that lawn chair. And then, a lot of times they don't have umbrellas. So you're out there baking in the sun. If you have little kids, they're baking in the sun. And it's not the most comfortable or convenient thing. So we had a cabana, so we were able to wait out the rain. So we waited it out, and it was cool because then it unexpectedly started to clear. It was still muggy out. It wasn't like the most beautiful day filled with sunshine, but the park was damn near empty.
We got on any ride we wanted to.
We rode over and over and over again.
The park kept the heat on the water 86 degrees.
Yep.
So the park the water is heated, so you never have to worry about it getting chilly. It was just we rode on every ride
over and over and over again.
And the only thing that was sad over the weekend is there was one ride that London wanted to do.
Oh yeah,
and she had to be 44 inches and she was 43.
No, she had to be 42 inches
and she was 41,
and she was like 40 and a half.
So she couldn't get on that ride, and they
wouldn't let her slide.
Upset. No, they would not let her
At
slide.
Disney World, they let her slide because she had sneakers on, so it gave her a little bit more height. But this ride, we're walking around in either water shoes or barefoot or flip-flops, so it didn't give her the height. And they were like, I can't, especially because there's someone else that's going to check at the top of the stairs. Like right before you get on the ride, it's a safeguard, which I get because you would let your man or your cousin and her family get on. They make sure that they have somebody else double checking. So they said no to London, and the waterworks.
Yeah, she started crying.
She was bawling.
She was mad. She was so upset.
It was the biggest ride at Volcano Bay that we tried to get her on, and they were like, nope, and she was crying. So I waited on the platform with her, and then Rashawn and I switched off, and then me and the kids rode it again.
So I promised her that, before we left that park, I would sneak her on a ride. And they had this thing called
it's like the opposite of the lazy river.
Right.
I don't remember what it was actually called though.
I don't know, but it's like
Rapid River, maybe?
It's a Rapid River.
I want to say it was called Rapid River. I could be wrong, but
this is going around the park and it's moving. It's like...
No, you have to explain. Like, that's not a good explanation. Nobody would know what you're talking about if you just... It's like a river, right? Like a river, but there's no donuts. There's no floaties. It's just you and your life vest.
Right.
Right? And they start a current. And the current pretty much forces you down this river.
Right.
You cannot fight against the river. I don't care. You could be Michael Phelps. You cannot fight against this current. So it goes around, and let's just say a circle. It might not be an actual circle, but it goes all the way around. It takes maybe 8 minutes from start to finish.
Get all the way around.
Get all the way around. But it's really like a white river rafting, but without the raft.
Right.
If you've ever been white river rafting, it's the same thing. And I mean, there's times where we completed the circle and then we were trying to decide if we wanted to go again. And then Logan would get sucked in and he's sitting there trying to fight against and swim against it to get back to us. And we're like, oh, we all got to go. Because Logan's gone. He tried to jump out of the water onto the wall and then the river is taking the rest of his body. Like, hysterical. We did that. We probably spent 2 hours. Now imagine if each trip is about 7 or 8 minutes, we might have spent 2 hours going around and around. It was so much fun. Madison said that was the single thing that she enjoyed the most of the entire vacation.
And London did too, because her dad snuck her on.
Tell me how you snuck her on.
So
sorry, Volcano Bay, if you're listening.
Yeah, so you had to be, I think, 42 inches. And again, she was a little too short. So what I did was I just sat there and I waited for them to measure another kid. And when they measured another kid and said the other kid was too short, we just jumped in. And then when we jumped in, like Gia said, it pulls you so fast that they couldn't catch us. So we just went around. We went around like I would say like 20 times, me and Lundy. And she was so happy. My dad snuck me in.
Yeah, if you ask her what was her favorite part of the trip, oh my God, we should call her and ask her really quick. She'd be like, the part where Daddy snuck me on the ride. It wasn't a ride, but it was a thing.
And she had a life vest on and she could swim, so she was safe, but she had a great time.
And it's only about maybe 3.5 feet deep.
Yeah, it's only 3.5 feet deep.
But it feels deeper. Yeah. For some reason, maybe because of the current. So they were strategic with, how deep they made it. But you float on your back, it's taking you, and it's really, it's a cool experience. And I can't swim at all. Like, I literally wouldn't be able to save my own life. And I had some, experiences going through there where it was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to die? Because at times it's intense.
It is intense, but it was great. It was fun. The kids loved it. We were just bumping into people, helping people out. We just had a great time.
Yeah.
So that was our Disney experience. That was just some of it, most of it, I would say. And I hope if you're going to Disney, you get a guide. You wrote down some of the things we told you that was cool and that you should try, and how to get around and navigate around certain things, and how to keep your cost down by getting stuff from Target when you get down there instead of, buying stuff at the park. We just had an amazing time.
Yes, it was very, very, very enjoyable. Like, I had so much fun on this vacation. Like, this vacation was so much fun, and the kids had so much fun. But if you plan it properly and give yourself enough time, get all the reservations that you can get, make sure that you have little things like your sunblock and everything, because you don't really want to buy it once you get down there, and you plan your days, the timing. You have to figure out what rides you want to go on. You have to figure out your fast passes, time everything, and try to stay as close to your schedule as possible. Plan for the worst, plan for rain, plan umbrellas, plan ponchos, plan everything, so you're not caught out there buying $20 ponchos and $30 umbrellas for everybody in your family.
And when you get down there, you can get a lot of that stuff from Target, because that's what we did. We got ponchos from Target.
We're not sponsored by Target. I'm just letting you know.
No, we're not. Not at all. We got
Rashawn just loves Target.
No, we got spray tan lotion, suntan lotion from Target. We got beach towels from Target.
Yeah, I found that it was better to not pack all of that stuff, to buy enough like Dove body soap and things like that just for the trip, because I've traveled before where those things have broken or exploded in my underplane luggage. So a lot of times if we're traveling somewhere with the United States and I know that there's going to be somewhere nearby that I can buy my toiletries, I wait till I get there and I buy those things there.
Absolutely.
And something, a lot of people ask me about planning clothing and wardrobe for the trips. So I'll address a couple of those things before we wrap up our Disney trip. So whenever we're planning a vacation, I plan the clothing and the wardrobes and everything months in advance. Like, for instance, right now we don't have our next vacation planned, but I have 6 bags of luggage planned and packed for our next vacation, because I know that it'll be like a beach vacation or something where it's going to be, we're going to be in bathing suits the entire time. So I buy all of our swimsuits, all of our cover-ups, sunglasses, flip-flops, water shoes, all of that stuff, and I'm already packed for the next thing, because I really do love to plan, and everybody knows that I love family matching, and people always ask if the kids are willing participants. The kids love it. Especially, like, you would think that the older ones, like Logan, wouldn't be with it, but he loves it. And Madison loves it. Like, sometimes they help me pick out like the things, and, I might go and get, say, a pair of swim trunks for Logan. And then I'll say, all right, if you really love it, then we'll plan a whole day around your swim trunks. And I'll shop accordingly. So it usually starts with one piece, and then I buy for the rest of the family. So I do that usually months in advance, maybe 2 months in advance, because it really does take a long time and a lot of planning in order to get all of the pieces. A lot of you have asked, is it one store that you go to and buy something for the whole family? No. A lot of times I can get the boys' swimsuits from, say, one maker or one brand, but when it comes to outfitting the girls, it's really about matching everything to the boys' swim trunks. And it's usually not just by one maker. Brookie in London, I can oftentimes get the same swimsuit or like a bathing suit version of one and a bikini top version to the other. But Madison and myself, we're buying adult swimsuits. So then we have to go and get something that correlates or matches with them. So, for each day, it really does take a lot of planning. And oftentimes we change twice in a day. So if we're up early in the morning and we're doing water sports and whatnot during the day, then there's dinner outfits. So I usually pack at least 2 things for one day, sometimes 3 things, because your bathing suits and your trunks can get soaked in the morning and then you go have lunch and then you don't want to be back out in wet trunks. So then I'll have a second ensemble for, the afternoon and then something for dinner. But that's usually how I do it. And you can't do it a week before. It really does take time. So that's just an answer for a lot of you that ask.
Okay. And that's how you plan out the amazing color coordinated suits.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, that is our Disney trip. And shout to, like I said, Experience Kissimmee. If you want to figure out how and what's going on, you could hit their website up or their Instagram, and they have so many different things that you can do in Florida outside of the typical things that you just know because you see all the times. That's how we found out about Wild Florida and about what was the Celebrations tour and all that other stuff.
Disney Springs, all of that.
Yeah. So anyway, it's time to get up out of here. Don't forget July 27th. July 27th is our live show. We would love to see you guys. It's at Sony Hall, sonyhall.com or Ticketmaster.com. A few tickets left. It's our live podcast show. And then we have Major Hype.
Yes. And if you didn't hear Pillow Talk, we dropped Pillow Talk on Monday. So go ahead and take a listen.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time to get up out of here. It's time to enjoy the 4th. I'm getting in the pool. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the Casey Crew.
Doodles.